Hi and welcome back to my little corner of the internet. Today we are making a pair of women's trousers or cycling pants, and the pattern I'm using is from Black Snails Patterns. Starting off with the assembly marks as always. This pattern is a bit tricky, so before you make the final pants I definitely recommend making a mock-up, because I had to go up 2 sizes to make them fit. Because I'm apparently not a standard size, but who is? And what I'm going to do is make the fold first and then put that in, because as you can see on my mock-up I ended up doing it wrong. So it's important to fold it in the right direction and double check just to make sure. But what I'm going to do is fold this over and just paste that in. And I'm going to do that with the 2 front pieces and the 2 back pieces. And the fabric I'm using is just some regular jeans fabric with no stretch in it. And here it is, all basted in. And as I said, I did this with the 2 front pieces and the 2 back pieces, making sure that the pleat is turned in the right direction. And now I'm going to try to put in the button placket, but this ended up being much more complicated than I remembered, even though this is the 3rd pair of pants I'm making in this pattern. And I realized when I started editing this video that you couldn't see what I was doing, so we are going to do this in another video where I'm going to show you how to make this button placket step by step. But here it is, sewn in, lovely, done. Button plackets are hard, pants are just hard in general, but I'm going to show you how to make this at some point, I promise. I just need to understand it better first. But it actually turned out kinda okay, even though I had to pick it up and yeah. And these are the pockets. They are nice big pockets in these pants. These are the pieces that are going to be at the bottom of the pants. But there's going to be a little snip that goes over, and this is the waistband that I have put in some broad cotton tape. So I'm going to start off with pinning in the waistband, making sure that I get centered back. Then I'm just going to pin it in all the way around. And I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom of the pants, but before I do that I'm going to put in a gathering thread, and I'm just snipping up the little pleats that I made, because those are not going to go in at the bottom of the pants, they are only going to be at the top of the pants. And I'm trying the trick with the 2 needles and the 2 strings as Mog and Donna did. I'm still not good at this, but again I'm going to keep on doing this until I can do it properly. But that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in a gathering thread before I put on the little cuff bit on the bottom of the pants. And here it is, gathered together, and the cuff bit is put on. And here the waistband is pinned in. Now I'm just going to sew that. And this is the easy part of making these pants, putting on the leg cuffs and the waistband. The hard bit is putting in the button placket, but as I said, I will show you this at some point when I make another pair of pants, because I'm not done with these pants just yet. And because the fabric is so thick, I ended up having to finish off the cuffs and the waistband by sewing it by hand, because my machine wouldn't sew through 4 layers of jeans fabric, which that's okay because that's a lot of fabric and I don't mind sewing it by hand. And I'm going to do the same thing with the waistband, just marking off where the seam allowance is before I fold that in and just sew that with a little whip stitch, as I did with the leg cuffs. But these pants are probably the hardest thing I have had to make in a long time. They are so tricky, not only the fit, but the pattern, and yeah, this was a hard one to make. But I'm definitely going to try again, because I need to know how to do this without cursing at myself throughout the whole process. I actually ended up having a bit of a why am I not a standard size crisis, because I didn't fit into my mock-up. But that's the reason for mock-ups, you know, to make sure that, yeah, that things fit. And it's not important what size you are, but your measurements and that stuff fits you. So, and here they are, almost done. I just need to put in the buttons. They look a bit weird lying here on the table, but they look a lot cuter on, I promise. It's time to find some buttons, and I'm going to be finding these in my big stash of buttons, because I didn't have one in my small stash. And I ended up sitting and putting all these buttons in order for like a half an hour before I actually found the right buttons and sewed them in. And here are the second pair of pants I made, where you can see the buttons are a bit wonky. So I'm not sure if I have to do that again to make the fit right. It ended up I had to do that, but I'm not going to do that as you see it here in the video. Again, I'm not a standard size when it comes to pants apparently. So I have to tweak it and yeah, make it fit. But these are the buttons. So I totally recommend, if you want to make these pants, make a mock-up, take a deep breath, take it one step at the time, make all the mistakes you want on the mock-up so you can make pants that fit and look lovely and are comfy. And I can wear these both with and without my corset underneath, which is a win-win. But I'm definitely going to try this again. Thanks you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!